What?
You read this.
Yeah. I don't have to listen to anything. Blah, 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 blah. Don't touch me, sir. Get out of my way. Freedom of locomotion. Move out of my way.
Well, he's either a train driver or a Kylie Minogue fan. Please subscribe.
Blah, 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 blah.
Or possibly a 4-year-old. Anyway, today we're going to take a look into the world of sovereign citizens. And I know that some people get their knickers in a twist whenever I make a Sov-Sit video, but I've got this.
Blah, 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 blah,
Directs
blah, blah,
respondent
blah,
to
blah,
not
blah,
abuse
blah,
the
blah. I'm not
petitioner
really
or
listening.
persons named in
I'm
this
not
petition
listening to
by harming,
anything.
attempting to harm, threatening, or following, stalking, harassing.
Stop grabbing me, bro.
Forcing.
What's your name?
Gosh!
What's your name and badge number?
All right.
What's your name and badge number? What's your
Hands
name
on
and
your
badge?
back.
For what, bitch?
Now, I'm not a lawyer, nor do I pretend to be. I mean, all I've got is my own handy-dandy copy of the American Constitution. So I really don't understand why people get so bent out of shape whenever I make a sovereign citizen video. But this guy is already in court for harassing and stalking, so what on earth makes him think that calling one of the court bailiffs a little bitch is gonna help his case?
What am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for?
Being a whiny little bitch?
Tell me right now, what am I being arrested for? Obstruction for what?
Put your hands on your back. You're going to get tased.
Tased for what?
You're going to get tased.
What the f are you guys doing? Assault, bro!
On your back.
Assault! Bro, I have the right to resist this arrest, so I'm all for arrest!
Yeah, and I have the right to ride a unicorn to work, so let's see how those two things hold up in reality.
This is all lawful arrest! Unlawful arrest! Get these tyrants off of me! Right now!
All right, calm down.
Right now! Get these tyrants off of me now! These unconstitutional pirates!
I like pirates.
Get them off of me now! Get the out of my face, bitch! Sit down. Let go of me now! Let go of me now, bitch! Let go of me now! Take that badge off! Take that badge off! Take that badge off!
Yeah, take your badge off. Take your badge off. Because nothing screams logical argument like challenging him to a playground fight. What are you going to ask for next? A duel at high noon?
No, we're not alright. These guys are assaulting me in the fucking hallway, and you're watching it.
Yeah, we are, and it's very funny.
It's a violation of my constitutional right, freedom of locomotion.
Sit down.
No.
Calm down.
Get these torture cuffs off me, bro. Get these torture cuffs off me. This is a civil lawsuit that you just harassed and tackled me to the ground for. You're not allowed to tackle people to the ground for a civil fucking lawsuit.
But I don't think they tackled you to the ground because of a civil lawsuit. I think they tackled you to the ground because you were being uncooperative and screaming like a petulant child.
You understand that, you piece of shit? That's a civil fucking lawsuit.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. You don't know the fucking law, you piece of shit.
That's all right.
Ow! Call an ambulance right now. Call an ambulance right now.
For what? All they did was put you in handcuffs, and if you want my humble, non-American opinion, for what it's worth, you deserve to be in handcuffs after the way you just behaved. Or do you think that by demanding an ambulance, it'll halt everything that's about to happen to you? I think that ship's already sailed, pal.
My wrist hurts. Call a f***ing ambulance. Yeah, Star Squad.
Sit down.
No, I'm not sitting anywhere.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm f***ing not. Don't lay your hands on me, bro.
Sit down.
For what reason?
Because I told you to. You're in
What law
custody.
am I breaking?
You're in custody now.
For what?
Obstruction.
Of a civil f***ing what? Obstruction of what?
We were serving a protection order.
You don't have the right to serve a civil protection order.
Yeah, we do.
I have the right to deny it.
Yeah, and flat earthers have the right to deny reality. But neither of you are going to get very far with that strategy, are you?
I have the right to deny that protection order. Get your hands off me.
Well, if you sit down, my hands would be off you.
Well, if you didn't touch a free citizen to begin with, I wouldn't be
down.
handcuffed.
Now, am I the only one who can see the irony in this? This guy is in court to have a civil protection order served upon him, and what a civil protection order is basically telling him, stop harassing the people you've been harassing. And he's saying that these law enforcement officers are harassing him.
Suck my big fat 10-inch
Sit
dick.
down.
Suck my 10-inch dick, you bitch.
Well, as impressive as that may be, nobody likes to show off, pal.
lawsuit that has nothing to do with obstructing justice. I'm not listening to anything you say, bro. La 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 la. La la la. They just harassed me to the ground over a civil lawsuit.
Okay, cue the butthurt commenters. You deserved it. You're behaving like a complete and utter dick. I can see the comments now. Ooh, Creaky, you shouldn't be saying anything about this. You're not American. Yeah, whenever I make a video about sovereign citizens, I always get comments from people telling me that I don't have the right to have an opinion, even though sovereign citizens are huge freedom of speech fans. Does that not apply to me because I'm Welsh? Just think about that before you leave your little butthurt comment.
This is an excessive use of force. Relax. Quiet. Hey, quiet. First Amendment right. Quiet. You too.
Oh. First Amendment right. F you guys. F you too. No, I'm not finding that.
Hey, quiet. Okay, that's fine, partner. That's fine.
Silly me, he means freedom of speech. That thing I haven't got whenever I talk about sovereign citizens. Which has always confused me because whenever I talk about flat earthers or young earth creationists, I can say anything I want and nobody gets upset. But whenever I start talking about sovereign citizens, I suddenly don't have the freedom of speech anymore. This is really weird.
So what was going on? I came here for court today and these guys grabbed me up for a civil protection order. They're not allowed to touch me for a civil protection order. They're not allowed to touch me for that. They're not allowed. I'm allowed to refuse a civil protection order. That's civil. That has nothing to do with criminal. That has nothing to do with criminal law, bro.
This is going great, and there's that irony again. You are in court for a civil protection order, which are most commonly used to make sure an abuser stays away from their victim. But they can also be used to request things like child support that a man is refusing to pay, or a woman. We're not sexist on this channel, but in either case, you're already in court, so why make it worse for yourself? Having the ability to say something doesn't always mean that you should.
Jacket ripped off me. You guys are such pieces of shit.
What's up,
I just saw you this morning.
I did. I do.
Yeah, before these guys came and harassed me.
Alright. Well, I don't know what's going on. So
It's a civil lawsuit, bro. They're trying to serve me a civil lawsuit, and they costed me over it, which they're not allowed to do. They can only do that if I have a warrant against me. It's an unlawful arrest. Anybody who assists in this will be part of a 1983 federal lawsuit. What's your name and badge number, sir?
My name is Corporal Montgomery, sir. We don't have badge numbers.
You got your body camera on?
I sure do, sir.
This guy arrested me and accosted me over a civil service.
Head him down real quick, Charles.
Now correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure some of you can't wait to, but didn't he make it criminal when he refused to take the civil protection order and pushed his way past the two officers and then resisted arrest and started screaming and shouting like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum in a toy store? Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure that when these officers woke up this morning, they only had one thing on their mind, and that was copping a feel of you a member.
You had no reason for arrest. What was I obstructing? Your civil service and you don't even have the right to serve?
Now, under US law, a civil protection order is typically served by law enforcement officers, such as police or sheriff's deputies. In some jurisdictions, other individuals, such as process servers or court-appointed officials, may also have the authority to serve these orders, and the specific rules can vary by state and sometimes by county. But generally speaking, the responsibility for serving a civil protection order lies with trained and authorized personnel to ensure the safety and legality of the process. So, again, what's your problem? Apart from having handcuffs on and being stuffed into the back of a police cruiser, I mean.
You should be ashamed of yourself. We have constitutional rights in this country. You hear me, goddammit? You know what a constitutional right is? I have the right against unreasonable search and seizure. This is unreasonable search and seizure. This is unreasonable arrest. This is a false arrest.
Yeah, you do have the right to protect yourself against unreasonable search and seizure, but it was your behavior that made it reasonable for the police officers to want to search you and then seize you. Surely even a sovereign citizen can see that. Oh yeah, no, maybe they can't. Forget that last part.
My wrist, you piece of shit. You want to take it out on me, dude? You want to take out your anger more on me?
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, for my wrist. When these guys are tackling to me to the ground, you piece of
There's no
shit.
need to call me a piece of
I'll call you a piece of shit all I want because you backing these idiots, bro. You guys should be on my side trying to help a free citizen. Instead, you guys are arresting a free citizen for no reason.
Well, lucky you, Mr. Free Citizen, because you just won a free ride to the police station. And it's not really the best defense, is it? It's right up there with the dog ate my homework. And unfortunately for you, being a free citizen isn't a get out of jail free card. But if you get sent to jail, that'll be free as well. Well, it'll be free for you, but not for the US taxpayers.
Yeah, you don't have any reasonable articulable suspicion. Because you're kidnapping somebody and abducting them right now, and that's a felony. Chapter 18, Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. If you are to deprive any citizen of their rights, of their constitutional rights, that is a felony punishable up to 10 years in prison in federal courts.
See, now this is something that really confuses me about sovereign citizens. They believe that they do not need to abide by any of the laws in the United States of America or in whatever country that particular sovereign citizen happens to be from. But they are always the first ones to quote the law back to law enforcement officers when they're in trouble. So how does that work? Either you like the law and you want it there to protect you, or you're a sovereign citizen. You can't have both.
This isn't gonna do anything for you, bro. I'm gonna get bailed out. I'm gonna go get it dropped in court.
Yeah, you're probably right, which is really sad. But look how much fun this is.
Because you have no reasonable articulable suspicion to arrest me to begin with, you pieces of shit. And you didn't even check their reasonable articulable suspicion to see if they had a reason to arrest me. You just agreed with it and nodded along just like a sheep. You have a noggin to use it. You have a brain to use it. Start questioning your other officers because some of them are not honest and some of them are not truly law enforcement officers and some of them don't honor their oath on the Constitution. And if you don't honor your oath on the Constitution, you will be charged with treason.
Now look, before anybody gets too upset with me, I know that in America you have a lot of police officers who abuse their power and they're questionable to say the least. But this is not the way to handle that sort of thing. The best thing to do, and again, this is just my opinion, is to zip it. Say nothing, and even a corrupt police officer will have nothing on you. And again, I know I can already see the comments, oh yeah, but they'll just make something up. Well, maybe they will. So why don't you go one step further and just avoid law enforcement completely if you feel that strongly about how bad they all are?
I have the Fifth Amendment right against unreasonable search and I have the Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure and the Fifth Amendment right to proper due process. And you have not used proper due process today because there is no reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime being committed.
But it was all caught on camera. You're not very bright, are you? How could you possibly sit in the back of a police cruiser after being arrested and say that they had no grounds to arrest you when you were screaming and shouting and rolling around on the floor like a moron? I think it's locked.
This will be dropped by fucking next week, dude. Okay. Such a dumbass.
Yes, you are. Oh, you're still here then. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something new. If you did, then you'll probably enjoy this video as well. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you all again very soon or in a few minutes if you do decide to watch this recommended video. Love you, bye.